and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, you've been telling me you were a genius since you were 17, and all the time I've known you, I still don't know what the heck you mean. The seasons are rolling by, ladies and gentlemen. The years are rolling by. Year 30, done. Colossal disappointment for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and welcome to day one of the fix. And I'm a big fan of the fix. As a matter of fact, it was the first live band I ever did see. It was a threesome. It was quite a threesome. It was the Fix, it was the Flock of Seagulls, and it was the Police. It was a synchronicity tour. And it was in Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the six-time Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots, who fired their coach in 1 year. They said, not good enough. Jared Mayo, see ya. Not here. Not here. An incredibly disappointing day for all of you Jaguar fans, albeit you shouldn't be surprised if you listen to the truth teller. And I'm not going to brag on it because it sucks. Okay? I hate being right about this. I wish I was right about sticking with my Bitcoin when I bought it at $12,000. Okay? Those are things that I wish I was right about. Not this. And we're living in a city that has a broken franchise. And it's not going to get fixed anytime soon. There's so much that I want to say. There's so much that I need to say. And unfortunately, I have a very short period of time to do it. I've only got a couple of hours. But we're going to cover everything here beginning right now. And, you know, Doug Peterson, it had to happen. And let's spend a moment on Doug Peterson, okay? And let me just say I'm incredibly disappointed because I thought he was the right guy for the job. I really did. It just blew apart. His selfishness and his loyalty came back and backfired, allowing Press Taylor to call plays. I mean, Shad Khan today telling us during the press conference that this football team has the most predictable offense and defense in the NFL was a brand new Shad. It really was. We learned a lot today during this press conference. I know there's been a lot of talk and this and that and this and that, and I'll get to it momentarily. By the way, let me address this right at the top. I was not allowed to ask a question. I was very bothered by that, okay? But I also will say this. Their public relations reached out to me and said it was a mistake. They said it was time, it was up, and that if they could do it all over again, they would have wanted me to ask a question. I am old school in this category. When someone reaches out to me and talks to me one-on-one and says it was a mistake and says there was no intent, I believe it. So I'm going to take the high road on this. I know a lot of people are expecting a Ballou meltdown and this and that, this and that. You know what? I love making things about me. I do. Today's not the day. Tonight is not the time. There's a much more significant problem in Duval than me not being allowed to ask a question at a press conference. And, you know, that's never happened before. So I'm going to look at it as a one-time incident. I'm just disappointed because it was such an important press conference. And I really had something that I wanted to address. I think my colleagues did a nice job getting just about everything that we wanted to get. But when someone takes the time to reach out to me and says there was no intent and apologize, I'm going to leave it at that. So if you're expecting me to explode on them, I'm not going to do it. I like them. They're good people. I hope that this is a one-time situation and that we'll just carry on from there. But as I said, there are far more important things to look at within the structure of this organization. And it begins now with the loss of Doug Peterson. I thought he was really good for the job. 22-39, man, that's the third highest win percentage in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It sucks, but for this city, it's kind of good, right? Losing 18 of 23. This year, 10 one-loss games, 10 games lost by one possession, including yesterday. I've always believed this. I was in Buffalo for the blowout, okay? We watched Detroit in the blowout. In the world of coaching, especially in football, if you get blown out, the team is better than you. But if you lose every game by one possession, that's coaching. And that's lack of player performance. And that's what needs to change for the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars. So what I want to do today, and I think this is really going to be interesting, is what did we learn at this press conference? I actually think we learned quite a bit. Number one issue for me is Baalke's word is law. Trent Baalke can say anything. Shad Khan's going to believe it. I do not know of one individual, and again, I'll throw you the digits right now. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosure. Please get to me, especially if you're on the other side here. I don't know of anyone who thinks this is the right move to keep Trent Baalke. Okay? He is toxic. There are reports time and again and time and again and time and again that there's a power struggle. The most successful coach he's ever had was Jim Harbaugh. Look at his record with Harbaugh. I think it was 44-19. And a well-documented power struggle ended up in the overall dismissal of Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh said, forget about it. I'm going elsewhere. He hired Jim Tomsula, who lasted 1 year. He hired Chip Kelly. He got here after 4 years off. He inherited Dave Caldwell's job. He was part of Urban Meyer. He's been part of Doug Peterson. What you have here is a guy that how involved he is another part of this conversation, which I'm going to get deep into today because, again, I thought that was the most fascinating part of today's press conference. Trent Baalke has the ear of Shad Khan. And that has always been the number one reason why I figured that he would be able to survive this, even though the coaching staff was going to be let go. He has an answer to everything, okay? No matter what the situation is, whether they're not playing the right position, whether they were injured, whether they were drafted in a spot they should not be drafted, Trent Baalke has an answer. He's a clever guy. He really is. He's brilliant. Because he doesn't waste time trying to convince others. He doesn't waste time putting things here, no. All of his attention is to Tony Khan, who is an enormous fan. Don't kid yourself. Tony Khan is a huge fan of Trent Baalke. And, of course, being in the ear of Shad himself. So there's your biggest problem. And what we got today, which was so fascinating in my particular opinion, is that Shad Khan, who has always been labeled as a hands-off owner, right? A guy who hires the football people to make the football decisions. I no longer believe that. Shad today, with his commentary, told me that he's much more deeply involved with this football team than I ever thought, okay? He's the one who hired Doug Peterson. He's the one who fired Doug Peterson. So for the record, and I think this is something else that really does support Trent Baalke, and I have to believe in their conversations, it was probably his overall trump card. That is, Shad, you hired Urban Meyer. I wasn't for that. Shad, you hired Doug Peterson. I wasn't for that. We should now look at this guy. We should now hire that guy. So it makes a lot of sense until you get to the fact that here we go again. This is going to be head coach number 3. And it's crystal clear by listening to Shad Khan today that Trent Baalke is not going to pick the next Jaguars head coach. It's going to be Shad Khan once again. Shad Khan has 0 inner circle. We saw that today. You know who his inner circle is? Well, 3 of them are now gone. The head coach, the offensive and defensive coordinator. He relies on analytics. He relies on Trent. And he may rely on a couple of other people unnamed in the building. But he doesn't have a group of people who are, quote, NFL people that he can lean on, that he can go to get advised on what is really right for this organization. He doesn't have those people. And when you watch Shad today, it's almost as if 9-8's good enough. 9-8's good enough. Okay, stubbed our toe. 4-13's a bad year. But again, you lost 10 games by 1 possession. You're so close. And that's the NFL. If you were to break down teams all across the league year after year after year, this is an ongoing trend. This isn't college football where you play directional schools and non-conference games. This is pro football. Just look at the weekly lines. They're usually 3 points or less. But the words are there. We need to do this. We need to do that. We're this close. And that is what Shad Khan is believing today. Here's where the real problem exists. It's still Trent Baalke. Look at the league. Has anyone had anything positive to say about the retaining of the general manager? No. It's filled with just incredibly poor commentary, right? You can't work with this guy. The coaching pool is going to shrink. Those who want a brilliant offensive-minded coach like Ben Johnson, that's not going to happen. Now, we don't know that, okay? We don't know that for sure. That is a belief by a lot of football experts out there. But that is part of the problem. Then the other part of the problem is this. Let's say you are Ben Johnson. And let's say you can pick your job. Let's say you're Mike Vrabel and you can pick your job. Do you really want to come into an organization with a guy who has 1 year remaining on his contract as the GM? Shad Khan was asked today, will you extend the contract of Trent Baalke? His answer was, it's irrelevant, which is awesome, by the way. I mean, if you've ever worked on a 1 year contract and you've got a family to feed, trust me, it's anything but irrelevant. But that's what he said today. It was his way of saying, no, I'm not signing Trent Baalke right now to a 1 year contract. He's going to have to earn it. All right, so what if it doesn't work out? What if it's another year where you bring in this coach and all of a sudden, it's a 5-12 year or a 6-11 year, and for the third consecutive year, Trevor Lawrence is hurt, and for a third consecutive year, you haven't gone to where you're supposed to go, and you fire your general manager at this time in 2026. Just look at how uneven everything is. You may love your coach. You may not be in support of your coach, but all of a sudden, he's in for 1 year. I've never met a general manager. I've never met anyone higher up in decision-making, whether it's a program director at a radio station or whether it's a general manager of a football team, when they come and take a new job who doesn't want their own people. You know it, and I know it. Every factor of our professional life, when you bring in a new boss, they want to do things their way. So you go 1 year now on the final deal of Trent Baalke. What's the best case scenario for Jaguar fans? I'll tell you. Baalke gets fired in a year. Well, what if you fire him then? Then the new GM comes in. What are you going to say to your head coach who all of a sudden is looking over his shoulder? Oh, I wonder if this GM likes me. Oh, I got to improve. I got to impress myself now to a brand new decision maker with this organization. We have the draft coming up. We have free agency coming up. And I have to form this relationship even though I've put in work for a year. It's odd. It should not work this way. It should have been a clean blowout, a bulldozer of the entire organization. You hire them together. You work together as one. You know going in, this is going to be the GM. This is going to be the head coach. Now this thing's going to be unparalleled again. And it's literally going to be back and forth, opposite ends of contracts. And it's not going to be anything close to a perfect marriage. That is on Shad Khan. That is on the owner of this football team. And he took it to depths that frankly, I didn't think he needed to. He started talking about the medical profession and the analytical profession and the scouting profession and so many other departments over there where there's a lot of really good people. Okay? When we talk about blowing everything up, we're not talking about blowing up those in charge of logistics, okay? We're not talking about blowing up the PR department. We're not talking about blowing up the medical department. We're talking about the football side of things, the front office and the coaches. And that did not happen today. So Shad took the question and, again, took it to areas that, frankly, people don't care about. Very clever by Shad Khan. But once again, he didn't give us the type of answer that we were looking for. It's a really bad day in this city. It is. Unfortunately, for you out there who I feel for so much, and I say it all the time, and people still don't understand why I do say it all the time, but it's the truth. It is the absolute truth. I could care less about the Jaguars, the players and the coaches. I care only about the Jaguar fans. Because the coaches and the players, they come and they go. And it's their livelihood, and they make it all about themselves. Not only here, that's the way it is league-wide. I care about Jaguar fans. And you were destroyed today. It's so blatantly obvious that the firing of Trent Baalke had to happen, and it did not. You've got a broken franchise, and you've got an owner who, unfortunately, there are more important things to him than winning. Doesn't mean he doesn't want to win, right? There's a difference there. Doesn't mean that Shad Khan doesn't want to win. Of course he wants to win. It's just not the most important thing to him. Where it's the most important thing to you, the Jaguar fans. We're really going to dive into this heavily over the next couple of hours and get a lot of feedback from you on it. There's a couple of other areas that I do want to take this. But welcome to the offseason. I mean, it's going to be a long one for you. It really is. And I can't tell you how disappointed I am that this has happened to the team that you love so much. All right, opening comments brought to you by Schmunez Vision. Welcome to Dr. John Hunt. He becomes now part of their practice along with Dr. Catherine Schmunez, Dr. Neo Schmunez. Talk about needs and wants. What are wants? Well, I'll tell you. How about 20/20 for the rest of your life? How about great eyes? How about laser eye surgery? More than 30 years worth of experience. What about needs? How about cataract surgery? Yeah, it's a big deal. It really is. It's scary. But they're the best around. And again, plenty of experience, including on my right eye 8.5 years ago. Schmunez Vision, absolutely number one in the city when it comes to everything that involves your eyes. Just check them out online. Go to Schmunez Vision. Also go to Instagram, where you can get all of the testimonials as well at Schmunez Vision. All right, Dylan Denmark is here. My name is Rick Ballou. I'm with you. The best way to reach out is the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Let's take a look inside 1010XL.
Who wants the grand tour? That would be terrific. That would be great.
We have the drill in the morning.
Very amusing.
Jaguars today from 10 to noon.
Good.
Helmets and heels until 2.
Yes.
XL Prime Time and the Franchi Show afternoons.
This is great.
Then Ballou and Hacker take you into the night.
All in one location.
1010XL.
Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr.
a year?
Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
Pick it here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit About 9 Associates today and experience the difference. About 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Start your week by talking teal with Tony. Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Monday mornings at 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the Drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Hall of Fame Quality Roofing Solutions on 1010XL.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hickens' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us in 2025 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to just stop and say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming by and giving us the chance to help. You know, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry. But at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores. And we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
All right, let's talk with NFL insider Fox Sports. Jordan Schultz does an outstanding job covering the NFL, and he goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Jordan, as always, appreciate a couple moments of your time.
My pleasure, my man.
All right, Doug Peterson fired. Not a surprise at all. A shock to many that Trent Baalke has been able to hang on to his job. Your thoughts when you saw this report early in the morning?
Well, I mean, listen, Trent Baalke has survived a lot. You know, he think about his history with Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco, and obviously Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, and now Doug Peterson. It's pretty incredible. The guy has 9 lives. Maybe he has more. And I think what's happened in Jacksonville is that he has made himself, I would say, invaluable to Shad Khan, at least in Shad's eyes, and maybe more importantly, there's not a lot of football people in that building, as it's been described to me. There's not a lot of pure football people. And Trent, given his history, is one of those people. And I think the other thing that he's been able to sell ownership on has been the fact that he's put together a good roster. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, everybody that's a prospective GM, all these guys that are looking at potential opportunities are looking at the roster. They're looking at how stable is ownership and GM or head coach. And if you're just say anyone, you're looking at the Jaguars and you're thinking, well, they have a quarterback, they have a really good defense, they have a lot of pieces. What's the deal with the GM? And that's my biggest concern. If I'm a Jaguars fan right now, it's not even necessarily that Trent's still there. It's what really good candidate, what a draft pick, first-round draft pick, is going to realistically want to come into Jacksonville and work with Trent Baalke, given what we've seen him do to head coaches.
Jordan, everyone that I talk with, everyone that I associate myself with understands this and gets this. How come Shad Khan does not?
You know, I don't know the answer to it. I wish I did. I think perhaps the fact that he's not a football lifer, but the counter to that would be there's plenty of owners that don't have necessarily a huge track record in football that have been successful. And, you know, even I'm in Seattle right now. Even the background of the Seahawks with Paul Allen winning a Super Bowl, going to 3 Super Bowls. He didn't have a background in football, but you need to let the football people do their job and not meddle. But that requires having the right people. We've seen, you know, the Jets, for example, really struggle. The Giants, for example, really struggle. And, you know, 2 very different owners, and Woody Johnson and John Mara. Shad Khan I don't think he's a malicious person. I don't think he's a bad guy, but he has not done a good job of hiring the right staff. And I think the writing was on the wall in many ways with both Trent and Doug. And, you know, as soon as we learned, and I learned this morning, that it would just be Doug, I started asking around, because I thought, you know what, maybe I'm the crazy one, or maybe Jaguars fans don't know all the facts. And so I asked around, and I had one source tell me it was, quote, effing insane. I had multiple other sources, people that have been around the NFL, people much smarter than me, echo those sentiments, saying that what has Trent Baalke done, Rick, to earn another shot? It's baffling, it's confusing, and it's maddening.
In all your years doing this, covering the NFL and being an NFL insider, and this was pointed out today during the Shad Khan press conference, he doesn't have an inner circle outside of the Miller Electric Center. I mean, his inner circle, he said, was the offensive, defensive coordinator and his head coach, and Trent Baalke in analytics. Well, he fired 3 of those guys this morning. Have you ever known of an owner who doesn't have an inner circle around the league?
From a perspective of
just being able to bounce, just to be able to bounce things off. Like, who should I consider going out and hiring? I mean, he had Tom Coughlin in for a couple of years as well, obviously. But you know, that's been thrown his way, and he's not definitive on that either.
Right. No, I'm thinking about that, and I can't think of a good example that shares the same type of situation as Shad Khan. You know, even someone like I mentioned John Mara. Even someone like John Mara, who has really had a decade of bad football within the Giants. Woody Johnson, mentioned him as well. They had the sixth worst winning percentage since 2000 when he bought the team, longest playoff drought in North American sports. They have inner circles, whether it's Christopher Johnson, who he really relies on, whether in John Merritt's case, it's Steve Tisch, his co-owner, an ownership group in Washington, D.C., for example, with Josh Harris. You need people that are not just going to tell you what you want to hear or what they think you need to hear. And because there's so few of these jobs from a GM perspective or head coach perspective, we have seen so many time and time again, people get fired and then you never hear from them again. I was talking to someone today and they said, listen, at the end of the day, the GM is always going to serve himself first and then the head coach or then the owner. But it's not a good business plan in any business to have no inner circle that you trust. And I would argue that that's been one of the many issues that Shad has had. I also had this. About 3 weeks ago, I had reported that I thought Trent would be back. And I actually almost reversed that sentiment in my mind yesterday in the last couple of days because I was told that there was an all-staff meeting last week in which it was echoed to Shad, this needs to be a full-on rebuild, which means you need to cut bait on Trent, you need to cut bait on Doug, on the coordinators, on everything. And I thought that might move the needle. I really did. But the problem, to your point and what you just said, is that they don't have enough of these people in the building that Shad trusts and that he's going to take that advice to heart. And clearly that's why Trent is still there.
Final thought from you, Jordan. Jordan Schultz, our guest, Fox Sports NFL Insider. You mentioned many reasons earlier, and this is the best vacant job available in the NFL. You can throw into it the tax situation and weather. This is the best job. Ben Johnson, he's the one that everyone is clamoring for. There have been reports that Ben Johnson will not be interested if Trent Baalke is the man deciding what to do. Again, just how much of a hindrance is this, that this organization has stayed with Trent Baalke, sacrificing maybe the right man or men to take over this program?
That's my biggest concern now. And I mentioned earlier, like, Ben Johnson is the number one most coveted head coach. I would say Ben and then Mike Vrabel. So if you're Ben Johnson, if you're Mike Vrabel and you have your pick of the litter, at first glance, you say, well, that roster is really good, and I think I could win there. But then you worry about the GM. And in Vrabel's case, he probably wants Ryan Cowden from the Giants. And I think I don't know if it's a prerequisite, but it's probably important to him. In Ben Johnson's case, I would imagine he wants stable ownership and a GM that he knows will be there and support him. And I don't know if any head coach is going to get that in Jacksonville. So forget Ben for a minute, forget Mike Vrabel. Just look at the 10,000-foot view of all these head coaches that are going to come in and interview.
Yeah.
All of them are going to walk away saying the same thing. Well, if I take that job, yes, it's one of very few in the world, but am I built to succeed there? Am I given the tools to succeed there? And the answer is no.
And the double-edged sword becomes, if it doesn't work out in year one and Trent Baalke's contract is not picked up, final year of his deal, then you bring in a brand new GM next year, and that head coach is already looking over his shoulder.
Absolutely. And that goes back to what we said earlier, which is the GM is going to serve himself first. It's just how this business works. Yeah. And then that head coach is in an even worse precarious position. So it's a tough spot. And I feel for Jags fans. I really, really do, because you've been through a lot. I can't think of a more deserving, other than Detroit, I can't think of a more deserving fan base.
No doubt about it. Hey, make sure you follow Jordan Schultz. Go to Schultz_report on Twitter and/or X, NFL Insider of Fox. Jordan Schultz. Always a lot of fun, Jordan. Thank you so much.
Be good, guys. Take care.
There he goes. Jordan Schultz. Good stuff there. And tonight's show brought to you as well by the good folks over at Miller Electric and the Miller Electric Company. Boy, they're getting ready to unleash some big news. Huge news with one of the great companies. They've been around for almost 100 years. And everywhere you go in the city, what's happening? People want to move to Duval. There's building everywhere. No matter where you go, you see it on the streets and next to the streets, everything that's going up. And electrical work It's going to be something that's going to be here for all of our lifetime and much farther than that. And they're hiring at Miller Electric, one of the great companies here in Jacksonville. They take on the biggest projects, all right? They're offering you a chance to showcase your skills on the grand scale. How does this sound? They believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture. Okay? People actually cared about one another over at Miller Electric. Check them out online. Go to millercareers.com if you'd like to apply today. millercareers.com. All right. Good stuff there from Jordan Schultz. We'll grab some of your reaction to this. I want to replay as well a couple of comments today that did come from Shad Khan. Again, I learned more from Shad Khan today than I have in, what is this year, 12, year 13, that he has been the owner of the Jaguars. He is more involved than I ever thought. And he is going to be more involved in the hiring process here. And you just heard Jordan Schultz say it. Shad Khan is going to pick the coach. Shad Khan picked Urban Meyer. Shad Khan picked Doug Peterson. He is going to pick the next head coach. But is he going to be able to interview and get a Ben Johnson or the one that you really covet if Trent Baalke is still there? Right now, the answer to that question is no. Overwhelming, it is no. And that is what you are up against. If you'd like to join us, the best way to add your 2 cents is on our text line. That is 641-1010. Brought to you by the good folks over at Lifetime Enclosures. Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Florida's weather is unpredictable. Don't let the Epic Chill catch you off guard. For reliable heating services, call Epic Cool Heating and Air. Keep your home cozy all season long. Call 904-859-EPIC. 904-859-3742.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Post Game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
Mia here for MyBookie, hoping everyone had a profitable NFL regular season betting weekend with MyBookie. College football playoff marches on with the Final Four. Notre Dame is favored by 1.5 over Penn State on Thursday. The over-under for that game is 47 points. The matchup suggests a relatively close contest. We know anything can happen. We're taking a look at betting the over here on points total after the offensive showing they both had in the quarterfinals. Friday night, Ohio State favored by 6 against Texas. The over-under here is at 53.5 points, indicating expectations for a bit of a higher scoring affair. The Buckeyes' lead in the spread might reflect confidence in their performance and also is likely to be where the betting public is putting their money. That 6-point line, though, that's pretty hefty. We'll look for Texas to cover the spread. Guys, if you haven't yet, sign up now at MyBookie and still get a 50% deposit bonus. That's half your money back on your very first deposit up to $1,000. Promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures right now running an awesome special for January. Get a complete enclosure done, get free flooring. Now, that can save you some money. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring, also running a buy one room, get the second room free. Once again, only for January. Now offering flooring coating as well. So give them a call. I know I did. Visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Denny Thompson here for Tyson Sound and Security. Transform your home into the ultimate entertainment hub. Whether you're hosting the big game inside or out on the patio, Tyson's top-tier surround sound systems will make you feel like you're at the stadium. Enjoy crystal clear sound and breathtaking visuals, all seamlessly installed by Tyson's experts. Get ready for game day and every day after. Visit our new showroom on US 17, call 762-1000, or go to TysonSoundSecurity.com. Tyson, your home theater and security pros.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 6, 1951, the Indianapolis Olympians beat the Rochester Royals 75-73 in 6 overtimes, the longest game in NBA history.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at ProJaxRoofingFL.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to DreamfindersHomes.com for more details.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. Okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
With Trevor Lawrence's unfortunate stretch of injuries this season, the Bulls graduate Mac Jones saw more action than anyone anticipated in 2024. Jones appeared in 10 games this season and remained fairly competent in Trevor's place. Although the offense did not have the most explosive traits, Jones did a fair job of keeping the team in games. Here's Jones's opinion on how his teammates backed him during this unfortunate season.
Learned a lot from Trevor this year. He's a great leader in person, and for him to obviously get injured was unfortunate, but I do feel like the guys on the team have a lot of respect for me, and hopefully I just earned everyone's respect. That's all I care about. For them to say that was tough, and we were in every game, so wish it could have gone the other way sometimes, but I do believe that I put my best foot forward, and so did they.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Ready tonight till 8 o'clock. That'll be the deal all week long. Holidays long gone. Welcome back to the real world. Day one of the Jaguars off season. It's Trent Baalke's town. Squad, I'm a small part of it here tonight, 6 to 8. Shad Khan, owner. More hands-on than I ever believed. He begins day one of the offseason. 13 years for Shad Khan. He's had an executive vice president in Tom Coughlin. He's had 2 general managers, Dave Caldwell, Trent Baalke. Baalke just wrapped up year 4, where he is now 25-43, overseeing the Jaguars as general manager. 25-43. 4 head coaches, now set to be number 5 for Shad Khan. Doug Marrone, all right, took him to an AFC championship game. Peterson in 21, all those come from behind wins late, including the down 27-0 playoff game here against LAC. But, I mean, come on. Where's your confidence that Shad Khan's going to pick the right guy? Where's your confidence today or tonight that Shad Khan's going to pick the right head coach? I just gave you the facts. If you get the Trent Baalke, and obviously he's going to have a major say on this, well, the coach he couldn't get along with most was Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, in 4 years in San Francisco, was 44-19-1. And there was a power struggle. The brilliant Trent Baalke hired Jim Tomsula, who went 5-11. Then Chip Kelly, who went 2-14. Okay? That was it. Baalke had 4 years off, came in here under Dave Caldwell. Became the interim, then took over. 2-11 under Urban Meyer. I think they ended up being, what, 3-15 that year? I don't know. 3-14. Again, these numbers fall on him. You can play the other side and say, well, it was Shad Khan's hire. And it was. And then Doug Peterson now 22-29. So there's the track record for your brain trust. Your owner and your general manager. It is a definition of losing. And what gives you that confidence today that all of a sudden they lost 10 games by 1 possession? Let's flip that switch and turn it all around for 2025. Shad Khan was asked earlier today during the Jaguars press conference, why was general manager Trent Baalke retained?
Because I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay? We have a lot of things that are working that can always be improved and will improve. And there are other things that are not working that need to be fixed. So, the coaching, that is an area that, we need to fix now. But certainly over the last few years, we built a football administration and, a lot of things are working well there.
Is it working well? Let's try to be honest here. Myself included. Let's set aside the agenda, which, by the way, as a fan, you never have to do. You absolutely should be a part of your agenda. And the most important part of your agenda should be, I want the Jaguars to win some games. Let me see that. Gary Smits wrote about this in the Times-Union. See, I'm old school. I accept apologies. I also credit others when they write. And they do things along those lines. That's the way I was just raised, including in this business. Let me see if I can find it for you. What the heck did I do with it, Ballou? All right, here we go. This is from Gary Smits, Times-Union. Baalke is the GM the last 4 years. He's drafted 38 players. None of them have been all-pro selections. And only 16 have started. 7 are no longer with the team. The only players who've been around since the rookie class, forget about that part of it. So anyway, here's another part. This does not come from Gary, but here's another part that explains, the drafting of Shad Khan and Trent Baalke the last couple of years. I got so much stuff I put down here today. I don't even know if I can find that just this second. Hold on one second here. for me. Maybe I dropped the ball on this one. Tell you what, I'll look for that. Dylan, what do you think? Give us your opinion for the first time today. Your thoughts on what has happened here with this football organization.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I thought going after the game yesterday that they were going to clean house. And clean house, in my opinion, means the head coach and the GM, not what Shad Khan was talking about. I'm kind of surprised and kind of not at the same time. I mean, I work Jaguars today, and we have D-Rock and Garrard and all these people that come in, and they share their 2 cents. We have 5 people that come on during the week and 5 different opinions. And you hear everybody has a different opinion, and, you kind of trying to make your own from what everybody says, and really nobody knows. Everybody tries to have their sources like Jordan Schultz or Mia here at the station, and I just thought that they were going to clean house. I thought it was pretty evident, and I was very surprised.
All right, here's
like everybody else.
Yeah, here's another part. This is not from Smitter, but this is from somewhere else that I found. Baalke's had 48 draft picks in 4 years. 6 were first rounders, 2 were number 1 picks, number 1 overall. He's handed out more than $400 million in guaranteed money this offseason. I mean, he overpays. I kind of got into it with some Twitter people yesterday with the Josh Hines-Allen, and I didn't make light of it. It's a personal reason. We don't know what it is. I hope it's okay. I don't hope it's something serious. But, he did not play. And, he went from 17 sacks to 8 sacks. And my point was, who's the last Jaguar who got the bag who's performed well? I mean, Tyson Campbell didn't live up to the bag. Cam Robinson didn't live up to the bag.
Go back to 2018.
Devon Hamilton didn't live up to the bag. Who you say in 2018?
No, I'm just saying you have to go back that far.
Maybe.
Like Malik Jackson or Calais Campbell.
Yeah, but I'm talking about guys that were drafted.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I can't think of anybody
Calvin Smith
lately.
didn't live up to the bag. Miles Jack. I'm trying to think. That's you're kind of between a rock and a hard place here because you got to re-sign your own. That's the only way you're going to win. But when's the last time this organization has re-signed their own and they've stepped up their play? I mean, are we going back to Maurice Jones-Drew years? Seriously, think about it. Campbell, no. Josh Hines-Allen, no. Trevor Lawrence, no. Devon Hamilton, no. Cam Robinson, no. It hasn't happened. He gave out more than $400 million. Guys 25 and 43. Now, it doesn't mean I'm giving up on Josh Hines-Allen. I'm certainly not giving up on Trevor Lawrence, but I'm also here to show you what the hell's going on. They just went 4 and 13. And it's accepted. That's the part that boils my blood. I want Shad Khan raising his voice. I want Shad Khan to be angry. I'm angry. You're angry. I mean, you listen to, and again, I appreciate Shad being more transparent today than I think he's ever been. I learned a lot from Shad today. He is involved with this football team. But all of his trust is in one guy. Trent Baalke could tell this man anything, and he's going to believe it. There's no one else in the building. And, I grew up where there was problems with, Lou Gorman trying to re-sign Carlton Fisk and why just problems that would happen in Boston between a general manager and a player. And the great reporting in that city, they loved it. They loved a juicy story, right? There's nothing juicy about this. There's not one person who thinks that this man should have his job. Not one. Okay? And even when we get to politics and it's 50-50, at least 50% of the people believe in one thing. They believe in one party. No one agrees with this. No one does. And it is going to hinder this organization again. It's going to have an effect on who the new head coach is because of one guy. And let me say this before the break. All I do is read. I can't ever remember a general manager being painted in such a horrible way as is the case with Trent Baalke. And I've gone back and I've read all the San Francisco stuff. I mean, GMs don't do a good job and they get fired. But this feels personal. Vindictive. Finger pointing. There are problems, and Baalke comes out of it by, letting the others drown. Oh, well, he did this, he did that. He shouldn't have been. And he finds a way to prop himself out while others lose gigs, lose jobs. Baalke always emerges. He's got the answers. He's got the excuses. He's got the reasoning for why. And I mean, when I read stuff league-wide, I've never seen a general manager put in this. And by the way, most of it comes nationally. It doesn't come from us. It doesn't. Most of it. It stemmed from San Francisco. And the reputation is maintained. Hour number 2 of Rick Ballou is coming up.
Covering the Jaguars in every day that ends in Y. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Buick GMC. Frank Frangie here. As we kick off 2025, there's no better time to find your next vehicle. Start the year strong with the best selection, unbeatable prices, and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. Because when it comes to putting you first, there's nobody but Nimnick. Remember, Nimnick Buick GMC has the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Shop 24/7 at NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Many plumbers won't quote prices over the phone and instead charge a service fee for an in-home estimate. Of course, because they know once they're in your home, you're probably not going to send them away. But Roland Reach Plumbing is different. Roland will give you a price quote over the phone. And there's never a trip charge or service fee for an estimate. So if you've got a leak and can't wait a week and don't like paying unnecessary fees, call on Roland Reach Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Hey, poker fans! The Best Bet Winter Open Series returns to Best Bet Jacksonville from January 23rd to February 2nd. Satellites into the $1,500 main event kick off January 4th. Take your shot at big payouts with 8 action-packed events and $500,000 in guarantees. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com. And we'll see you at the Winter Open starting January 23rd.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hi, it's Ben, second generation from Beards Diamonds. Guys, if you're popping a question soon, looking for an anniversary gift, before you buy anywhere, shop Beards. From a half carat to 10 carats, Beards will beat any competitor's price.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Heck,
Packer here, and for the first time in nearly 20 years, I finally get to have a different resolution. Like most of you, mine was always to lose weight. I'd try something for a few weeks, maybe lose a pound or two, and then give up. Well, I tried. Starting the new year with Awaken 180 isn't a try. It's a sure thing. And why will you stick with it? Because instead of a pound or two, you'll see results right out of the gate. We all need motivation. After my first 3 weeks with Awaken 180, I was already down 30 pounds. Granted, I had a lot of weight to lose, but look at Dempsey, look at Matt Hayes. Those guys had results out of the gate too. Dempsey dropped 9 pounds his first week, Matt dropped 12 pounds. Regardless of the weight you need to drop, seeing those fast results will motivate you to reach your goal. Guys, girls, losing weight regardless of how many times you've tried is possible with Awaken 180. Make the sure bet and make 2025 the last time losing weight is your New Year's resolution. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses an AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start for the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you can be credit card debt-free. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS, consumeraccess.org.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Alcohol sales up. Miller Lite. Oh, man, I could go for a half dozen of them right now. Maybe I'll do that when I get home. GF's out of town. She's in Dallas for a week. You know what that means, Dylan? The truth teller's going to play.
I thought you were going to say go drink more.
Always drinking, but never driving. Uber it. Taxi it. Give it the old thumb, right? Hitchhike.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
I can't remember the last time I saw a hitchhiker. I really can't. I did some hitchhiking in Boston. I remember when my dad found out. You talking about getting whooped. Woo. And that was like pre-Bundy and the Green River Killer with Gary Ridgway and Eileen Wuornos and all that type of stuff. It was just not a good idea to hitchhike. But I can't remember the last time I saw a hitchhiker. I don't know. I just can't. I'm feeling just an incredible amount of pain here tonight. And I wish I knew what to say. Because Jacksonville to me is so special. It is. It's where I'm going to stay for the rest of my life. It's where I'm going to die. I mean, this is it. I've decided to make this my home, and I decided it when I came back in 2006. I love this place, and I love this place because I love the people. And it's a different feel that I have with you people. It's not the college football feel where you've experienced success, you've experienced defeat. This is new. You took this thing over from its infancy, and you had early success in 96. And you had a great run in the 90s. And then I went away for 7 years and came back. Right after the AFC Championship game, lost to Tennessee. I left. But it's what I want. I just want to see it once in a lifetime. I was talking about the Jacob brothers who own Boston and, the whole Bobby Orr contract. And I was saying, beefs in the media, I get it, but they always feel two-sided, right? Player and coach, player and GM, coach and GM, owner and player. This is an avalanche, an absolute avalanche of non-support. I mean, we'll put you on the air if you can tell me why to support Baalke. I'll listen. I'll lean back, swig of water, kick up my feet. I'll listen to you. No one listens to people more than I do. No one is more interactive on the text line than I am. I listen to you people because to me, this is why I do the show. It's for you. And all I want is one Super Bowl. Just set things back. I mean, this thing is half pregnant. You're uneven, okay? Let's get to the next big problem because this is where we're at. It's about trying to fix problems. Shad Khan today was asked, does Trent Baalke deserve a contract extension?
I don't think that's really, relevant. I think what's important is the structure we've had, and, it's work, which is both, Doug and Trent reporting to me. And that way, if there are issues that can be addressed openly, honestly, I think, Doug was there this morning at MEC. He spoke to the players. And there's no disharmony or, as far as that goes. So, whoever a new head coach is, it's going to be my job that similarly, our job is to support the head coach. What Trent is doing, what I'm doing, the rest of the people are doing are really like, service providers and serving the head coach to succeed.
That is arguably the most tongue-tied I've ever heard Shad Khan. Didn't feel like a comfortable answer from a man who's done this forever in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different forms. Again, I really like Shad personally. I think he doesn't get it with this organization. He's missing out. And I just wish someone had the power to be able to tell him what he's doing wrong. Tony Khan is a huge fan. My last conversation with Tony Khan was in Buffalo. Jaguars got absolutely destroyed. That game was over 5 minutes into the first quarter. There's not enough people in the building. I say it all the time. Just go and look at organizations. Study franchises during some of these off days. Look at what front offices have, positions within the organization, and then compare that to what Jacksonville has. Jacksonville has one voice, and he doesn't even talk. Took him 18 days to meet with us a year ago. He met today because it was forced. It was a firing. And I just wish Shad Khan saw this. And when things like this happen, then questions begin to arise, such as winning really isn't the most important thing for Shad Khan. It has to be the only thing for Shad Khan. People don't want to hear that he bought it for $770 million and it's worth $4 billion. They don't want to hear it. Not to say he says it, but it gets reported all the time. They want to hear that this football team is getting better. They want to hear that they're making the right moves. The NFL, you know the slogan, not for long. This is a business where you are hired to get fired. People get fired all the time. The best example of what is wrong with this football team is 17 games, 10 losses by one possession. Think about that. And we could have a round table. You know, crack open a keg of Miller Lite, just kind of kick back and reminisce and go game by game and pull out examples of how they lost the game. Mistakes they made, coaching mistakes, personnel mistakes, scheme mistakes. How about Shad Khan today? Telling us that this was the most predictable offense and defense schematically in the NFL. Your owner said that. I remember yelling about this months ago. What would prevent Shad Khan to going to Doug Peterson, who we also did officially learn today, or at least let me check that. I officially learned this today. If others were aware of it, okay. I'd never heard it before. I've never heard it from a media member. I've never heard it from anyone. Doug Peterson all year was reporting to Shad Khan? What? I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I know they have conversations, but reporting? Okay. What prevented Shad Khan from going to Doug Peterson 3 games in, 4 games in, 5, 6, 7 games in? What prevented him from going to Doug Peterson and saying, Doug, call the plays or you're fired? Simple question. Why do I believe 10 one-possession losses? Why do I believe that if Doug Peterson called plays all year, 4, maybe half of them, they would have won? He's a good coach. He's a good play caller. He just delegated his authority and remained ridiculously loyal. And it cost this organization. What prevents an owner from doing that? Is that where the quote-unquote, he's a hands-off owner comes into play? We learned today that he's not hands-off. We learned today that he hired Urban Meyer. We didn't learn that today. We knew that. He hired Urban Meyer. He hired Doug Peterson. We learned today that Doug Peterson reports to him. We learned today that there will be no search committee, that the candidates to interview are going to come from Shad and Trent Baalke, and that the new coach is going to be a Shad Khan hire. Shad Khan is going to make this hire. And where is all the influence going to come from? His son and Trent Baalke. He doesn't have people in the league. He's not going to go ask Tony Dungy. He's not going to go ask John Gruden. He's not going to go ask Bruce Arians. He's not going to go ask one of the Shulas. I don't know. He's not going to go ask Mike Tannenbaum. He's not going to go ask Rick Spielman.
Bill Polian.
Bill Polian was rumored years ago. Even mentioned earlier today. Tom Coughlin. Okay. I get that Shad doesn't have to answer the question, but I also kind of self-imposed here. I think I'm a good reader of facial expressions and body language. And it comes from this gig. I think it was Mia who asked the question. It was painfully obvious that he doesn't have a couple of guys he doesn't want us to know about it. He didn't have anyone. So he's going to hire this next head coach by either being just completely, absolutely blown away during an interview process. By the way, the reputation for Ben Johnson is what? He's not a good interviewer. I mean, you can get on the list right now and go to 100 fans. And I know a lot of people won't even consider you as fans because you're fans. And they'll say they don't know what you're talking about. I don't believe that. Okay? Especially nowadays where information is so readily available. You go and interview 100 Jaguar fans right now and say, who should the next head coach be? Why do I believe 90 would say Ben Johnson? I think there were 44 members of the media on the press conference call today. If you did a secret ballot with 44 of those media members and said, who should the next head coach be? Why do I want to believe that more than, I don't know, mid-30s would say Ben Johnson? He's the guy. What if Trent Baalke doesn't like him? What if we keep on hearing, what if Ben Johnson doesn't want to work with Trent Baalke? What if Trent Baalke right now, his mind is made up? Ben Johnson's not coming here. I don't want Ben Johnson. We've never even considered that. And that's a big problem with all of this. Oh, man. I just don't know. And there are so many links here, and there's so many parts that need to be put together in order for this thing to work again. But what is realistic is this. They're not that far away. They're not. Baalke has done a good job with some recent drafts. Baalke has done a good job spending money, putting together contracts. Has he overpaid? Yeah. Yeah, he's overpaid. But he's done a nice job. This organization is going to have more than $40 million to spend. And I think a couple of big cap guys could be jettisoned and possible trades that are coming up. Yeah, there's going to be some dead money, but it's going to open up even more cash. He's got the ability to do some things. This football team right now, man, if they had just said goodbye to him, do you have any idea the enthusiasm that would be going on in Duval? You've got money, you've got draft capital, you've got pieces in place. The biggest issue for this football team, and it's not even close, everything else is 99th and 100th on the list. The biggest deal with this organization, who can fix Trevor Lawrence? Who can make Trevor Lawrence a star? Who can send Trevor Lawrence to the Super Bowl? None of this, hope Trevor gets... No. Who can fix Trevor Lawrence? I don't want to hear about Mike Vrabel. I don't want to hear about Aaron Glenn. I don't want defensive coaches. I want an offensive coach who is going to call plays. Look what Sean Payton is doing with Bo Nix. Look what Sean Payton did for almost 20 years with Drew Brees. You can do what you want with offensive coordinators. Ben Johnson could do that with Trevor Lawrence. Bring Brunell. He's the offensive coordinator. Brunell's not calling plays. It's Ben Johnson. It is by far the biggest problem. You have to fix Trevor Lawrence. You have to keep Trevor Lawrence healthy. 2 years now, 7 different injuries. An offensive line that is not where it has to be. I know all these experts are going to say, get another corner, get an interior defense. No, you got to fix the freaking offensive line. You got the 2 tackles. Your interior offensive line is soft. You have to protect your quarterback. You need to get a number 2 wide receiver. Offense, 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 offense. Trevor Lawrence. You may not get Ben Johnson because Trent Baalke is still here. And to me, that is absolutely unforgivable. Yet there's no one that can get to Shad. Hate it for you. Absolutely. I mean, I'm almost sick here that this is day 1 of the offseason. I'm almost sick that this is going on. And it's only the 6th day of January. Much more to do with you tonight till 8.
1010 XL.
Run hard, baby. I love it. I love it. You smell that is on this. Great finish. That is a great finish.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Nice shot.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Football's heating up. The NBA is back. And on Hard Rock Bet, you can bet every sport. Even combine all your sports into one bet. One Florida bettor put $50 on a combo parlay and won more than $100,000. And they tacked on another $10,000 to that win with a daily profit boost. Promos every day for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Win your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJax.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 6, 1951, the Indianapolis Olympians beat the Rochester Royals 75-73 in 6 overtimes, the longest game in NBA history.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows in 295.
Need extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is always buying guns, musical instruments, surfboards, and tools, and pays cash money. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
I'm living proof that with Rebound Rehab, you can bounce back and get back in the game. Joe C. for Rebound Rehabilitation, and they helped me recover from an ankle injury that had me down and out. Their team of physical therapists ensure you'll get the best treatment you need to recover and regain mobility. From back, shoulder, and neck pain to a nagging knee or arthritis, Rebound Rehab can help form a game plan through therapy and exercise, complete with an app so you can continue to recover at home. Check out reboundrehab.com. 8 convenient locations.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with WonderWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WonderWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WonderWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WonderWorld, and to top it off, WonderWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WonderWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call WonderWorld today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at WonderWorldNEFlorida.com.
WonderWorld, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What state boasts the highest average life expectancy? The answer in scant seconds.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to ask your agent about your homeowner's coverage. It's time to make the change to Southern Oak Insurance.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hawaii has the highest life expectancy at 80 years. Conversely, Mississippi has the lowest at 72.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. RJ Saunders here with 1010XL, and okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I want to get to some of you tonight because a lot of good stuff is rolled in on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Eric Armstead today with a bombshell, which, again, is just another indictment of how problematic this organization is right now. First of all, congratulations to Eric Armstead. He's done two things since he's been in Duval: eat and go to the bathroom. He announced today that he will move to defensive tackle. Okay? This is a 10-year vet who is a recipient of the Walter Payton Award, nominated for that here with this team. And when things like this happen, you've got to put into context timing. He's ripping someone here. Is he ripping Ryan Nielsen? Is he ripping Doug Peterson? But he said he will move back to defensive tackle next year. We have all felt that he should be playing defensive tackle. This year, he was a backup edge. And he had, let's be honest, an awful season. But here's another real problem with all of this. Who's Eric Armstead to say, I'm moving to defensive tackle next year, when you don't even know who the head coach is going to be? What if the head coach comes in and wants to run a 3-4? What if the head coach comes in and wants to run a 4-3? What if the head coach thinks he's a big again, it's another, I'm just going to say whatever the hell I want to say to make a point that he was unhappy about the way that he was treated. And it's indirectly a complete lack of respect for coach to player. And I mean by that, the incoming coach to player. Now we will all be under the impression that Armstead's going to be a defensive tackle. We don't know. It's just, I'm never going to be upset from anyone for speaking, okay? Because I love when they have things to say, good or bad. But, bro, take the high road. You were terrible. You get paid, what, $750,000 a game? You were just awful. I mean, myself included, we were mentioning you next to Calais Campbell as all this, experience and leadership and father figure and a guy who's been through the wars, and you're going to rub off. You did nothing. You were a total embarrassment. And because of a Trent Baalke really bad contract, talked about him re-signing his own players, drafted players here, and how they were overpaid, but you kind of have to do it, right? I mean, Baalke's in a no-win situation. You can't let Josh Hines-Allen go. You can't let Tyson Campbell go. Now, if they go and they play well, then it's like, what? So you got to sign them. They didn't perform up to the contract. Free agent contracts, typically for 2 years, they're good. It's year 3 where all of a sudden you start to say, oh, boy, look at the cap hit here. Look at the dead money here. The Eric Armstead contract is a disaster. You can't think about him. I mean, this guy's a part of this organization. Let me pull it up for you before I get to your texts. Eric Armstead. What a terrible contract. He's 31. I mean, the guy signed for 4 more years. I know they're voidable after 2. So realistically, He's here for 2025 and 2026. If you were to cut him, you have a dead cap money. You have a dead money hit of $24 million. $24 million. You can't. You got to play him. You got to fix him. So there you go. Do we have a positive one here? So I'm looking for a positive one. 6691. I don't mind Baalke staying. I think we were a coach. It's the softest team in the NFL. I believe that was Doug's fault. Okay. Okay. I can accept that. It was a very soft team. This organization, for the last, oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time they were not, has been incredibly soft in the offensive ditch. Look how this team, year after year after year, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, they really struggle. When it becomes man-up football, a little bit better late with Tank. Yada, yada, yada. 1883, Ballou, it's safe to say Shad Khan has so many businesses going on to compartmentalize the Jags to a point where he has blinders on, he can't read the NFL room. I think this is what the most important thing is to Shad Khan. The organization is worth $4 billion right now. And it was worth $770 million when he bought it. That's most important. Don't get that I don't believe he doesn't want to win. Of course he wants to win. Everyone loves winning more than losing. Is it the most important thing to him? What's the most important? What if, what if we said, hey, Shad, your franchise is not worth $4 billion anymore. It's only worth $2 billion, but the Jaguars just went 13-4. And go, what's more important? To me, it's far and away cash. Uh, 32-36, Boo, why didn't you say something to Tony Khan about Baalke when you saw him at Buffalo? I did. We had a conversation. And I would term that as an off-the-record conversation. I hope you understand off the record. You put in that position, and if you have listened to this show consistently, I've said all along that I thought that he was going to survive this. $64.96, Ballou, Trent Baalke 3 years ago, press conference, YouTube, quote, an opportunity he's never thought would come again. Not many people get a second chance in this business. Now he gets a third chance. What do you think, Rick? I think it's terrible. I think it's absolutely awful. I don't think that you can make a compelling point whatsoever that this man should still be your general manager. I'd love to sit back and listen. I look at his positives. He's drafted well. The last couple of years, he's put together some good draft picks. Okay, that's the best thing I can say about him. Okay, now they haven't gotten to Pro Bowl level, right? Trevor's not a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro. I mean, Trayvon's not an All-Pro. Cisco wasn't an All-Pro. Little's not an All-Pro. They're not at that level, but he's found some good players. This year, he found Brian Thomas Jr. That is a great pick. That may be his best pick. It really feels like Jarian Jones can play. Mason Smith came on late. There's another apparent power struggle that we don't have the exact information on. Why was he out for 3 games? He wasn't eating correctly. He wasn't putting things in his body the right way. I don't know. Maybe he was a dog in practice. Maybe he was falling asleep during film study. I don't know. But he had an ankle. That cost him 3. Mason Smith was a healthy scratch for 3 weeks. That should not happen on a losing football team when you are a second-round pick. And it did. But there's some encouragement there. I feel much better about Mason Smith today than I did 2 months ago. Ventrell Miller. Out of the 2 guys that got hurt, I hated more than anything losing Ventrell Miller and Walker Little. Those 2 needed snaps. I think Devin Lloyd's a guy that Trent Baalke should consider trading. Final year of his deal. He's solid against the run. They don't rush him. We've been wanting it forever. Sick 'em. I mean, you lose every game you play. Every game you play, you lose. Why not send Devin Lloyd on a blitz? What in the hell are you going to lose? No, let's put him in coverage. He couldn't cover me. If I ran a sharp, crisp, disciplined route, Foye Oluokun and Devin Lloyd cannot cover me. It is a terrible coverage linebacker unit. And Walker Little, too. That guy needed reps. He needed 65 reps a game for the remainder of the year. And he didn't get them. Yeah, so many coming in tonight. So look at some of these comments. But you people trying to get me to stick my foot in my mouth. All right, yeah, let's take a break. Why don't we do that? We'll come back. We got much more to do. 25 minutes remain. With you tonight till 8, then it's Hack.
Bone-crushing blows to game-winning goals. Yes! Feel the energy on 1010XL. History! Jacksonville Sports Radio. Yes! 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 Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
The opposition couldn't stop Mac's greatness when Jacksonville needed a big play, and he showed why he has that dog in him. Thanks to a 14-play sequence capped off by a Parker Washington touchdown, the Teal and Black would tie the score at 20 with 7:50 left in the fourth. The 84-yard drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyrics.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Kenny Thompson here for Tyson Sound and Security. Transform your home into the ultimate entertainment hub. Whether you're hosting the big game inside or out on the patio, Tyson's top-tier surround sound systems will make you feel like you're at the stadium. Enjoy crystal clear sound and breathtaking visuals, all seamlessly installed by Tyson's experts. Get ready for game day and every day after. Visit our new showroom on US 17, call 762-1000, or go to TysonSoundSecurity.com. Tyson, your home theater and security pros.
Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Did you have people over for the holidays? Kids everywhere, dirt everywhere, all over the carpets, the rugs, the sofas, and chairs. Did the kitchen towel take a beating? Sounds like it's time to call my guys over at Zero Res. The Zero Res techs will get the house looking great again. Folks, if you need help cleaning up after the holiday, give Zero Res a call. Right now, 25% off carpet cleaning, 25% off upholstery cleaning. Zero Res. Spell it forwards. Zero Res. Spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Start the new year with a fresh look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% off on our energy-efficient windows and patio doors designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and your energy bills down. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. But hurry, the special New Year's offer won't last. License number CGC 1527613.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Gators men's basketball team fell 100-106 in a high-scoring nail-biter against Kentucky on Saturday. Senior guard Walter Clayton Jr. led the scoring for the Gators with 33 points and 5 assists, going 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. It'll be a quick turnaround as the Gators welcome the top-ranked Tennessee Volunteers to Gainesville Tuesday at 7 for another top 10 matchup.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners, so you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here. Listen, I'm all about a sure thing. I like putting my money down knowing I'm going to win, and that's exactly what Awaken 180 was for me, a sure bet. I dropped 25 pounds in just over a month, and let me tell you, the results speak for themselves. Now, imagine this. You start Awaken 180 now, and when February rolls around, you've already lost 20 pounds. Or maybe you're like Matt Hayes, down 40 pounds by March. And don't even get me started on Hacker. Dude's lost over 100 pounds. Life-changing results, and I got to see it firsthand. Awaken 180 isn't some gimmick. You eat, you're never starving, and the weight just comes off fast. No guesswork, no crash diets, just a plan that works. And the best part, it's built to last thanks to free support for life. Don't wait for another failed resolution. Start your new year with the program that is the sure bet. Visit Awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Make sure this year is the year you win big with Awaken 180.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Well, I tell you what, we learned an awful lot today. Doug Peterson fired 22 and 29 in his career. Third all-time winningest percentage behind Tom Coughlin, the only winning percentage above 500. Jack Del Rio. And then Doug Peterson at a clip of 431. So Peterson let go. The bigger news is Trent Baalke survives. He's got a year remaining on his deal. Shad Khan was asked today if a contract extension was coming, and he said it was not relevant at this point. So I find that interesting. Reports are coming in right now that Gus Bradley has been let go.
Yeah, he got let go about 30 minutes ago.
By Indianapolis. That they're staying with both Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen as the combo GM and head coach. We also learned a lot today involved with Shad, including Doug Peterson reported directly to him. Did not know that. I knew that they had conversations. I mean, it's been discussed that after games, Peterson has a conversation with Shad. I was always under the impression that it was Shad, Tony, Baalke, and Peterson. Again, that's a question they're not going to formally answer. But there you go. And what makes it really intriguing here is that it's odd. And what you would hope. Let me actually do this to you. Let me give you a best case scenario. Shad Khan's financial offer is so incredible to Ben Johnson that Ben Johnson says, sure, I'll come there and I'll work, even if Trent Baalke's the GM. That's the best thing that you can hope for. Okay? Trent Baalke has 1 year remaining on his deal. Just think of how odd that is going to be. You bring in a new head coach. Let's say it's a middle-of-the-road season. Well, this ain't going to be a Jared Mayo deal. Unfortunately, this organization has dealt with a ton of injuries the last couple of years, and they've lost one possession game after one possession game, including 10 this year. If it's a bad year, a non-playoff year, and all of a sudden Shad Khan looks at it and says, you know what? Probably should have fired Baalke 3 years ago. Probably should have fired him 2 years ago. Should have fired him definitely last year. I didn't, but I want to play out his contract. His contract wraps up, and he says, see ya. He goes and gets a new GM. Just think about how absurd that's going to be. You already have a head coach and a coaching staff in place, and you bring in Trent Baalke's replacement. Again, people of power, people who have been in that position, they all have their own guys they want to hire, their own head coach. And it's just going to cause more unevenness. It's going to cause more friction. It's just stupid. It's just bad business. I mean, what an opportunity. You've lost 18 of 23. Just blow it up. Just start all over. Look at your fan base, man. They're like chomping at the bit. Your fan base is like, they're so ready. Just give them what they want. Blow it up and start over. You got $40 million now. You may have $50 million after some moves, and you got incredible draft capital, including the fifth pick. I mean, you've got so much to build on with key pieces already in place. These reports, Greg Huntington was with me last week, these reports that Ben Johnson's, he would come to work with Trevor Lawrence. Gosh, it's right there. What a massive miss this is. Unless he's able to get Johnson anyway. Where does this come from? This in moments ago now. This is betonline.ag. Jaguars' next full-time head coach. 1-1 right now. Straight up odds for Ben Johnson. These folks in Vegas typically know what they're talking about. Okay? And this just came out. So Ben Johnson right now is the leader in the clubhouse, according to sportsbetting.ag. Oh, excuse me, betonline.ag. Joe Brady, 3-1. Cliff Kingsbury, 5-1. Liam Cohen, 9-1. Anthony Weaver, 10-1. John Gruden, 10-1. 12-1s include Bobby Slowick and Todd Monken. 16-1, Mike Vrabel. 20-1s, Aaron Glenn and Brian Flores. So there you go. A couple of others thrown in there. Jesse Minter, Matt Nagy, 25-1. Wes Phillips, 25-1. Steve Sarkisian, 33-1. And Pete Carroll, 40-1. I do like that. And I think that's maybe the best bit of news we've received all day, because those folks in Vegas typically do know what they're talking about. I mean, the odds right now in New England, Mike Vrabel are 1-4, for crying out loud. I mean, you got to lay down 400 to win 100. Overwhelming in New England. We were talking about that last year. They should have hired Mike Vrabel a year ago. They did not. That's 1-4 odds. 4-1's Brian Flores. Ben Johnson, 6-1 in New England. So, that's encouraging. And at last look, Dylan, on this Black Monday, there's only been 2 official firings, correct?
Yeah.
Jacksonville and New England, they joined the 3 other in-season firings. What, the Jets, the Saints? Is it the Raiders? No, the Raiders.
No, the Raiders keeping Antonio Pierce.
Who else was fired in season? Was it Carolina?
No.
Help me out here. There was one other team.
The Jets.
We said the Jets.
Jets, the Saints.
And it was one other.
Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, Eberflus. Yeah, the
These
Giants
Chicago
kept theirs.
Bears.
Yeah, the Giants are keeping both the GM and head coach.
So 5 right now. Yeah, with possibly more to come. Hey, listen. Thank you. My goodness, man. I mean, the text line, this is just absolutely amazing. Literally hundreds and hundreds tonight. Not an opportunity to get to all of you. Obviously, I've responded to many. But I just, in situations like this, I just can't possibly get to you. And I never do check the text line when the show is over. I just don't have that technology on my cell phone. But you can always get me on Twitter or X. That is Ballou1010XL.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Hacker Nation is here. Day one of the Jaguars offseason and huge news.
Yeah, what a day. We were speculating last night on the fifth quarter what was going to happen, and we didn't have to wait very long. I guess like 8:30 this morning when the news came in, and boy, a lot of reaction, a lot of interesting things that have happened.
Yeah. Doug Peterson let go. Trent Baalke's going to stay. This whole thing is just, I don't want to take words out of your mouth because I know you got a show coming up on it, but it's just, it's bizarre, but neither one of us are surprised by this.
No, and I'll give you credit. I immediately thought of you when Baalke was announced he was coming back because you've been saying that for a long, long time, and I'll give you credit. You hit that right on the head. I was stunned, but I guess what should really stun you anymore, the one thing I will say, and I'm going to spend some time on this tonight, that was not a good press conference. Optically, that was not a good press conference. I commend the Jaguars for putting it on, for getting Shad and Trent out there. But I think that did far more damage than what was already done to this fan base. That was bad.
It was not a good look, but the one part of it that really got me, Shad Khan is more hands-on than I believed. The whole Doug Peterson reporting to him, crystal clear that he hired Urban Meyer and he hired Doug Peterson, and that he doesn't have an inner circle. Shad Khan is going to be absolutely the guy again who is going to hire this next head coach. And then he comes out and says we were the most predictable offense and defense in the NFL.
Yeah, where did he hear that? Who told him that? Trent Baalke told him
I have a pretty good understanding. But
I mean, it's just like Trent Baalke told him. You think Shad Khan watches the tape and says we were the most predictable? No. Trent Baalke told him that. Or Ethan Waugh, which, I think whoever asked him the question, who is your inner circle? Who have you talked to? Well, I talked to Ethan. Oh, you talked to Baalke's assistant.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I mean, optically, Rick, I'll talk more about it, but that was, if you left that press conference having confidence in the direction of this franchise, then we watched two different press conferences.
All right, what's coming up tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a ton on this. Tom McManus is going to join me. Matt Verderame of Sports Illustrated, Dave Campo. We're absolutely loaded tonight. It's all we're doing for the next 2 hours.
Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's Hacker Nation. He's coming up right now, right here on 1010XL in 92.5 FM. Thank you to Jordan Schultz. Really enjoyed that interview. And I know that Dylan has put some of that up on Twitter, but you can also go to On Demand and get that. We did it at 6:25, so it was fairly early in the program. But NFL Insider with Fox Sports, some pretty interesting things, not the best things if you're a Jags fan and you want Ben Johnson to be your next head coach, but it's certainly worth a listen. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Thank you to you. My name is Rick Ballou. I'll talk with you tomorrow at 6.